The Akwa Ibom state government had said that there will be a distribution of insecticide-treated nets to the tune of 3.7 million to the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom state between the 17th and the 21st of December 2022. A lot of these activities have been seen and know if been evaluated. And these distributions have already been made. This morning we have on set members of the team to have the discussion of how the progress has been so far. Good morning and welcome, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome. Okay, of course, that is, we have Farouk on my far left, and that is Farouk, who's the Breakthrough Action Nigeria team lead, Akwa Ibom Ministry of Health. Good morning and welcome. We also have Patience Ochibe. Welcome, of course. She's the Global Health Chain Supply Procurement and Supply Management Leader. Welcome. Good morning. Okay, so insecticide malaria about all the households across the local government areas, because I know now you are in the distribution phase. So let's talk a little bit about marking the families.
Okay, thank you very much. Just as you have rightly said, the intervention is a huge one, and all thanks to the government of Akwa Ibom State in collaboration with the United States President Malaria Initiative, Against Malaria Foundation, and all of the malaria partners that have done that rollout of distribution that commenced on the 17th of December through yesterday, 21st. And this has happened across a total of over 1,382 distribution points that are spread across the over 328 political wards across the state. So it's quite to tender it and redeem, collect their free net with it. And that is what we have done so far. Today, we'll be looking at what we have across the state to see if there are needs to add additional day, especially where people are still unable to come up with their net cards.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. If the day has elapsed, what happens to those who couldn't come?
Then for those few places where people have not fully come out to redeem their net card, we'll give them additional grace for them to step forward and have their net card redeemed.
Okay, let me talk to Mary Bassi now. Your Advocacy, Communication and Social Mobilization Officer for Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Health. So it means that you're, in terms of education now, educating them on why it is necessary to first of all get the net cards and then also come out for collection of the insecticide-treated nets.
Yes, that has been done. Apart from through the jingles on radio, at least we had 2 town announcers, the wards, going around to give the message to the people to come out to redeem their nets.
Yeah.
And so far, that activity has been ongoing. It's still ongoing. And for the success, I think we have about 90 or so percent.
Oh, wow.
Of collection, although we needed to have 100% as at yesterday, which was the last day. But few persons are still not doing that. And I know that as at the last meeting we had with the health promotion officers of the LGs to get the net before we close the exercise finally.
So this day or two is till when? So people can know exactly when it elapses totally.
We have today and tomorrow.
Okay, today and tomorrow,
yes.
Which is the 23rd, I guess. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so but then how would you rate the response of, Akwa Ibomites to this initiative? You say you have a 90%, of course, success rate,
yeah.
But in terms of embrace and acceptability, were people enthusiastic about getting mosquito-treated net for themselves and their families?
I would say they are.
Okay.
Because just before the distribution of the nets, we in public health go around facilities, go around communities to talk about, because we have malaria in the increase in Akwa Ibom. It may interest you to know that the last malaria indicator survey, Akwa Ibom was rated higher than the one of 2018. And as such, because of this distribution, we've seen people come struggling. If you were in a distribution point on the first second and third day, you see a whole number of people coming, struggling, trying to get the net.
Okay.
So we see that they are embracing the efforts of the United States government in terms of giving the net to us in the States.
I like the fact that I like the fact that you said people came out struggling. Now I'm going to talk to Patience Ochibe, global health, distributions and everything. So when you have people come out to struggle, how would you say that the success has been to make sure that each family gets the required net that they are supposed to get and not more? Because truthfully, before and all of that. So how were you able to know that each family gets the required net that they are supposed to get and not more?
Okay, thank you. So the national guidelines has stipulated how many receive 4 nets.
Okay.
So it's like 2 persons to 1 net. And then thankfully here in Akwa Ibom State, we're deploying the technology ICT4D to register using a mobile device and an application to register these households, scan the net cards and issue to the households. And what it means is when you come to the distribution point, we need to scan your net card before you redeem your net. And the application only permits you, so the application has a means to assign you a number of nets. If you enter 6 persons as the total number of people in the household, it only allows you or permits you to scan 3 net cards for that household.
Technology cover all the local government. Was it available in every place?
All the local government. We deployed over 2,000 mobile devices to over 5,800 household mobilizers to do this household registration across the wards in the 31 LGs.
Okay, it must have been a really detailed activity. I know that something else that really caught my, wit the last time we spoke to you was the fact that this net must not be aired under the sun for you to be able to retain the treatment that has been given. So far, is there a strategy that has helped you overlook that people are following those guidelines after receiving these nets?
Okay, thank you very much. Just as we have said, after distribution, our focus will now be on net use, utilization. Because it's one thing for people to receive net, it's entirely different in their houses. So we have several strategies to reach out to people with the key messages on how to use the net. One of that approach is the use of town announcers that move from house to house to tell people, if you have collected this net, you have to air it under the shade for 24 hours, you have to sleep inside the net every night, when you wash with mild soap, etc. We also have messages on spots, on radio jingles that also explain to people on how to use this net. And also very importantly, this time around we are using our religious institutions. We have reached them with our key messages to help us also speak to their congregation at worship centers, so that even as beneficiaries come out to collect their net, we don't just give them net and ask them to go home. No. Before even having to touch your net or receive your net, you will be first meant to sit and receive a health education. That is key. You get that health education, how to use the net, how to care for the net before the net is given to you. And it is all in the hope that we have that net utilization after collection in the state, so that people don't start thinking to misuse the net or misappropriate the net or sell the net or use the net to cover crops, etc.
The objective of all of this, initiative or drive of insecticide treated net distribution, I think 3.7 million? Yeah, 3.7 million. The objective is to be able to achieve herd immunity in Akwa Ibom State.
That's very correct.
And maybe in Nigeria in totality now. But would you say that with what we have done as a team, we will be able to achieve that?
Yes, I would say it's a step parasite, active from evening, night, early morning. And that is the backing behind we saying people should sleep inside an insecticide treated net every night. So if I sleep inside the net every night and you sleep inside the net every night, we don't get exposed to that mosquito bite, and no mosquito bite, there's no way you'll be given parasite. So if you don't have the malaria parasite, I don't have the part to move from one person to the other. And that is the focus the country program is looking at, so that we can finally kick malaria out. We have countries that have mosquitoes, but the parasite is not there.
Okay.
Yes.
Insecticide treated net. Now, why I'm saying this is because of the adverse effects malaria has on, children and of course pregnant women. I would like to talk to Mary then. So just educate our, viewer on the need for this particular action to be taken.
Thank you so much. So for those of us at home watching us, we has from studies shows that malaria kills a child in every 2 minutes. And in order for us not to have home with your nets, as you were instructed at the distribution points, we want you to air your net, not in the sun, not washed. Why am I saying not washed? Because I passed by a particular community and I saw nets in the sun, and I asked the driver, stop, let me go there. And when I got there, she said her mother asked her to wash the nets. And so I told her no. I had to give her the health instructions there. So you don't wash the nets and open the windows on your veranda that you know that the sun rays will not enter. Air that net for 24 hours and then put it up at your bed space. Tuck them well in for the 4 corners. If you are using a bed, you are using a mat, whatever is used in your sleeping space, you must tuck them in together at night. And then when you wake up, you roll it over and then put it up every night, because mosquito that cause malaria, it bites mostly in the night, from late in the evening, like my brother said, to the early hours of the day. And so when you sleep inside your net, I sleep inside my net, you are going to have a community protection, and so we will not have malaria again. And so for pregnant women, there's an additional to you sleeping inside the nets. You go and get registered in the health facility and get what we call intermittent prevention. Them and children under 5 years are the most vulnerable for malaria. And when malaria catches them, it's a dangerous one. But for sleeping inside the net, it is everybody's matter. All of us need to sleep inside the net. Thank you very much. Adhere to this instruction. I'm going to kick malaria out of Akwa Ibom State. Thank you.
We need to kick malaria out of Akwa Ibom. Okay, so just one last question before we wrap this up. We see that put their foot behind the project. So I'd like for you patients to talk a little bit more about, how much the state government did, what was the support, what was the turnout for this particular project.
Okay, so the state government has basically supported us through the State Ministry of Health, and then they also have provided us personnel to carry out this exercise all through the states. They have funded flag-off ceremonies at state level and LGA levels. So they have provided us huge support. The personnel is massive. Over 16,000 persons were engaged to implement this ITN campaign, and it's all the states. So kudos to them for the support that they have given.
Okay, that has to be a big thank you to the Akwa Ibom State Governor, of course, Governor Dom Emmanuel, and of course, like in some of the feeds we had, we saw Dr. Martha Odoma herself, being of Akwa Ibom State. The 31 local governments have been, properly covered with this initiative, and like Mary said, we do hope that everybody utilizes this mosquito-treated net as given. But that's about it on what we can take for this interview. A really, really great initiative. I want to say a very big thank you to you, members of the team who turned up today. And this is an extension of AID members. So it has to be a big thank you, because I've interacted with some people and I saw them put their energy to the work. So this is a great initiative. A big thank you. So thank you very much, Farouk Mohammed, for coming through. Thank you, Mary Bassi, for coming through. Also, a big thank you to you, Patience Uchibe, for coming through.